Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and checking your bank account. Instead of your usual balance, you see $1 million. At first, you think it's a mistake. Then your phone explodes with notifications. Every news station, every social media app, every friend, every family member, they're all saying the same thing. Every single American has received $1 million overnight. No lottery, no taxes, no conditions, just $1 million. Rich families, poor families, college students, retirees, even newborn babies. Everyone, across the country, people begin screaming with excitement. Parents hug their children. Young adults immediately start planning luxury vacations. Workers begin typing resignation letters. Students wonder if college even matters anymore. Social media becomes flooded with screenshots showing 7-digit bank balances. Some people cry tears of joy. Others laugh uncontrollably. For a few incredible hours, it feels like America has solved poverty forever. But hidden beneath the excitement, something dangerous has already begun. Because money only has value if it remains rare. Within minutes, the entire nation begins spending. Car dealerships are flooded before lunchtime. Luxury brands receive more orders in a single hour than they normally receive in months. Apple stores become completely packed. Tesla reservations explode. Airlines crash under millions of vacation bookings. Real estate agents receive thousands of phone calls every minute. Restaurants are overwhelmed. Hotels sell out. Shopping malls become oceans of people carrying designer bags. Suddenly, nobody wants the economy car. Everyone wants the Lamborghini. Nobody wants the small apartment. Everyone wants the mansion. Credit card debt disappears overnight. Mortgages are paid off instantly. Student loans vanish. Families celebrate financial freedom for the first time in generations. It feels like the American dream has finally arrived. But something strange begins happening. Businesses quickly realize every customer now has enormous buying power. And when everyone has money, prices begin changing. By the second day, inflation begins spreading like wildfire. A house that cost $500,000 suddenly sells for $2 million. A used pickup truck doubles in price. A carton of eggs becomes $20. Gas stations change prices several times each day. Grocery stores struggle to keep products on shelves. Businesses aren't becoming greedy, they're responding to overwhelming demand. When millions of people all rush to buy the same things, supplies disappear, scarcity returns, prices climb higher and higher. The $1 million that felt life-changing yesterday suddenly doesn't buy nearly as much. Economists call this inflation, but for ordinary Americans, it simply feels like their miracle is slowly disappearing. Then, another crisis begins. Millions of Americans ask themselves one simple question: why go to work? Hospitals suddenly lose nurses. Restaurants lose cooks. Delivery drivers stop accepting shifts. Construction projects freeze. Teachers resign. Warehouse workers disappear. Farmers struggle to hire labor. Fast food restaurants close early. Airports experience massive delays. Garbage collection stops in many cities. Entire supply chains begin breaking apart. Because while everyone became richer, nobody wanted to do the difficult jobs anymore. Society quickly learned something important. Money alone cannot build roads. Money cannot harvest crops. Money cannot repair power lines. Money cannot deliver medicine. Behind every functioning nation are millions of ordinary people doing extraordinary work every single day. Without them, even a country full of millionaires begins falling apart. By the end of the first week, America's housing market enters complete chaos. Families rush to buy the dream homes before prices climb even higher. Bidding wars erupt in every major city. Homes that were worth $500,000 yesterday are now selling for $3 million, sometimes even more. Luxury neighborhoods become impossible to enter, but even ordinary suburban homes are suddenly beyond reach. Ironically, everyone has become a millionaire, yet buying a house has never been harder. Builders can't construct homes fast enough. Lumber, steel, concrete, and labor all become dramatically more expensive. Renters celebrate at first, believing they'll finally own a home. Instead, they discover that sellers simply keep raising prices because every buyer can afford more. Real estate becomes less about finding a place to live, and more about surviving the fastest housing bubble in American history. Overnight wealth has created overnight scarcity, and the American dream begins slipping away once again. While Americans struggle with rising prices, the rest of the world watches closely. International investors begin asking a dangerous question: If everyone suddenly has millions of dollars, what is the dollar actually worth? Foreign governments begin reducing their holdings of US currency. International markets become nervous. The value of the dollar starts falling against other global currencies. Imported electronics, imported medicine, imported oil. Everything America buys from overseas becomes even more expensive. Businesses that rely on international trade face impossible costs. Shipping slows, supply chains weaken, inflation accelerates even further. What once seemed like unlimited wealth is now becoming a worldwide economic crisis. Because money isn't valuable simply because it exists. It's valuable because people believe it will hold its value tomorrow. And that belief is beginning to disappear. Businesses refuse to give up. Employers begin offering salaries that once seemed impossible. Fast food restaurants advertise $100 an hour. Construction companies double wages. Hospitals offer enormous signing bonuses. Airlines desperately search for pilots. Farmers compete for workers. Warehouses promise luxury benefits. Yet, many Americans still don't return. Why work 12-hour shifts when your bank account already shows $1 million? Slowly, shelves remain empty longer. Restaurants shorten their hours. Deliveries take weeks instead of days. Waiting becomes the new normal. Society discovers something surprising. Money can motivate people, but purpose, responsibility, and necessity are often even stronger. A nation cannot function if everyone wants to consume, but nobody wants to produce. Facing an economy spiraling out of control, the Federal Reserve and the US government step in. Interest rates rise dramatically. Emergency economic meetings continue day and night. Lending restrictions are discussed. New taxes are proposed. Financial experts appear on television almost every hour. They explain that America's problem isn't a lack of money. It's too much money chasing too few goods. Every solution comes with painful consequences. Raising interest rates slows inflation, but also slows businesses. Increasing taxes removes money from circulation, but angers millions of Americans. There is no perfect answer, because once inflation reaches this level, reversing it becomes incredibly difficult. The celebration that united the country has become one of the greatest economic emergencies in history. One year passes. America looks very different. The $1 million that once felt like unimaginable wealth now buys only a fraction of what it once could. Many businesses have closed forever. Entire industries have been reshaped. Families who spent everything immediately struggle the most. Those who invested carefully managed to protect some of their wealth. New economic rules emerge. Americans slowly return to work, not because they are poor, but because society cannot function without people creating value. The country begins rebuilding, yet the lesson remains impossible to ignore. Wealth alone cannot replace productivity. At first glance, giving every American $1 million sounds like the perfect solution. Poverty disappears, debt vanishes, dreams suddenly seem possible. But economies don't work because everyone has money. They work because millions of people create goods, build homes, grow food, invent technology, teach children, heal patients, and solve problems every single day. Money is only a tool. It cannot create food. It cannot manufacture cars. It cannot generate electricity. It cannot replace human effort. True wealth is created through productivity, innovation, trust, and cooperation. If everyone became a millionaire overnight, the numbers inside our bank accounts would change instantly. But the real wealth of a nation would still depend on the people willing to build it. So perhaps the real question isn't, what if everyone received $1 million? It's, what truly makes a country rich? If you enjoyed exploring this incredible scenario, imagine what other impossible questions could reveal about our world. What if the internet disappeared forever? What if Earth stopped spinning? Or what if Yellowstone erupted tomorrow? Subscribe for more cinematic, what-if stories that challenge the way we see reality. Because sometimes, the most fascinating journeys begin with a single question, what if?